Tell you something. I got a dry throat. And let me tell you something, man. One of the reasons why I'm slowing down on this alcohol stuff is making me look older than what I am. I don't want to look old, man. I ain't drinking tonight either. But we about to work out soon. And I want to drop some more body fat percentage. Like I said, I want to give myself the best chance, man. Give myself the best chance. I gotta get my hair cut soon, man. Very soon. I'm gonna take time out. Time out to get my hair cut. Just get it cut bald, man, completely. But the 20% stands, man. The 20-80 rule, it's real it's more real than ever than before, man. You know, the 80-20 rule is real. It's completely real, man. Where women are only dealing, 80% of the women are only dealing with 20% of the men. It stands, man. And it's reality too. You know, it's reality that we gotta be the best that we can be so we can attract women to pass on our genetics. At this point, I want a younger woman, and I'm willing to sacrifice alcohol and, you know, just so I can attract, man. Let me get my skin back in order, you know. Let me put lotion on my skin. My skin's been looking better ever since I've been putting lotion on it. Taking care of myself a lot more. It's too competitive to be walking around just like any old thing, bro. You feel what I'm saying? You know. Let me lean out my six-pack. Let me start eating more vegetables. Let me eat better. You know what I'm saying? Let me keep chasing this bag. Keep bettering myself, man. That's the only way you're going to get into that 20% of men is you got to keep on keeping on, man. You gotta better yourself. You feel me? Because 20% rule stands, and the only way you stand a chance, you gotta build, man. You can't cry about it. Crying ain't gonna do nothing, bro. Too many cats they didn't know what to do, man. And they ended up deleting themselves because they couldn't find a woman. Because they were at the bottom of the barrel when it came to genetics. Like Renegade One. That guy, he deleted himself. He was a YouTuber on here. People don't talk about him no more, but I still remember him. Uh, he deleted himself because he couldn't find a woman, bro. Some motherfuckers, they're on the verge of suicide because they can't find a woman. You know. And that's real talk right there, man. But you gotta create the best version of yourself, though. That means you gotta compete with other men. You have to. Boy, if I could go back at the time, I remember I was at this bar over here, and I was talking to the female that walked up to me and said, "Kale, what's up with the lottery?" You know, women, they smart. You know, they see a guy who came up on some cash, and they're gonna approach you, man, because you're part of the 20%. Anyway, I was talking to her, and then a tall Indian Chad came in there, man, and like started talking to her and shit like that. And you know, I was put to the side because I wasn't part of the 20% of men yet. You know, next thing you know, she leaves with Chad, tall Indian Chad. Okay, and I'm like, damn, I wish I would have had hit that jackpot. That $500,000 jackpot, I wish I would have hit that, but I was off by one number, and I hated myself after that, man, for a while, you know. But she went with the 20% of dudes. Dude was like 6'3", 6'4". He was good looking. He was younger than me. So of course, she was gonna go with him, man. You know, but if I would have had hit that jackpot, she would have went with me. Okay, if I would have pulled up with a Porsche or a Lambo outside, she would have went with me. I would have been the winner. Okay, I would have been the winner. He would have been the loser. He might have been taller and younger and better looking than me, but I would have been the winner because I would have been the cash cow. You feel what I'm saying? So women, they're designed, bro, by nature to go with the top guys. Oh, I'm back. Time to get a Monster drink, man, or something. I want something different. I'll get a NOS. Haven't had one of these in a long time. How you doing? I'm back. That's it. Yeah. So women are trained by nature to find the top guys. That's why you got a lot of men out here self-improving in alarming rates, because they don't want to suffer in the date market, man. So they get out there, they make that money, man. They want to be the top guy. Alone, there's like 350,000 millionaires in this area, the Bay Area, okay? And the Bay Area is 300, man, that's a lot of goddamn millionaires. They're all competing for the most beautiful women. They're all competing with the small pool of women out here. The fat chick's friend, the one that be trying to holler at me in Starbucks. All the men are competing for women like her. 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s. So that's why you will never see a woman that's a 7 or an 8, 9, or a 10 in your lifetime as an average guy. If you're a 7 as a dude, you won't be able to get other 7s. You gotta date down if you don't have money. If you're a 7 as a guy who got some money, then you don't have to date down. But if you're a 7 as a guy, you won't be able to get other 7s.